forgot to start the smartphone. I didn't record that one. It was a good group too. I'll have to reshoot that now. Well, before I reshoot it, let's take a look at this thing. The side shot, it's called that because it mounts on the side of your rifle. And this is unlike any other device I've seen. And the advantage here is that it actually attaches a smartphone long ways to the rifle or parallel to the rifle scope, and you get to look through the scope as you normally would. It has a 45-degree image splitter in there, which sends part of the image to your phone and part of the image to your eye. But the neat thing is you've got about the same eye relief, and I found that the only problem is my non-shooting eye bumps the camera sometimes, or the smartphone, so I have to kind of move back a touch, but it's not like a smartphone mounted on the rear of the scope. Okay, let's reshoot that three-shot group and record it this time. Okay, you remember that three-shot group I shot at the opening of this video that I said I didn't record? Well, that's it on the upper right dot. And you can see a pretty tight group. This is 50 yards, by the way. When I reshot it, I shot the one just to the left of it. And feel free to look at some of those other dots in those groups if you like to see what kind of shooting I was doing that day. I'm pretty pleased with that. Okay, moving out to 100 yards, and I'm going to be shooting some rocks out there. And you can see which one I'm shooting by where the crosshairs are. But at this point, we start to see reality kick in. And that reality is that at 100 yards, it's hard to get good video. And there's no exception here. My smartphone is set for a pretty high resolution, but we are going through a scope, we're going through an image splitter, and if that image splitter doesn't have the same high quality of the scope and the camera lens and such, it becomes the weak link in the chain and you get some distortion. However, I don't know of too many things that do this any better. And what's really the advantage to me about this, well, there's two actually. One is that the camera mounts parallel to the scope, and secondly, I see these crosshairs. It videos everything that comes through that scope, and thirdly, I don't have to change my head position very much, and I can dial the eyepiece to focus the reticle to my eye, and then adjust this thing accordingly. And you can't do that with a camera on the back of your scope, because no matter how you adjust that ocular eyepiece, you get a blurred image because your focal plane is on the phone, not the reticle. One thing about the side shot is it does a left to right reversible. I guess you'd call it a mirror image. And I guess the reason is the image comes in through the scope, hits that 45-degree thing, image splitter, and it in process of deflecting part of the image, it also reverses it. So one thing to be aware of.